So today I'm going to be showing you how to do tenders, namely the NHLS tenders and MRC tenders. In this video we'll be going over the NHLS ones. I'm going to be referring to an example that's already been done just so all the information is here and you can see it, but I will be showing you how to obtain the documents and how to fill it out from scratch as well. So an RFQ document is what you'll need to start off with. This can be obtained from the NHLS website or from direct inquiries that come to us on email from either the end user or other customers that are also applying for the same tender. So this is what an RFQ document looks like. It would be blank, the copy that you have, and we'll need to fill that out. It's usually quite a big document that's around 35 to 45 pages long, and the title will have RFQ and a number next to it. So if you're starting from scratch with no information and you need to obtain the RFQ document, then you can obtain this from the NHLS website. So you can see here when I searched for NHLS RFQ and that number, the NHLS website has a PDF version, so you can just download this if you need to have the blank document. Try and download it now. Okay, the next thing that you'll need to have on hand is our company information. This will just make it easier for you to add it onto the RFQ document. So you can find this in the sales folder under the tender documents or company information folder. This has generally what you would need to put in is Ren and Preston's ID numbers, our VAT number, tax reference number, our company registration number, our CSD number if they ask for it. Yeah, that's about it. And on PDF, once you fill it out like 1 or 2 times, then each time that you need to use it in future, it has a memory, so it remembers it for future reference as well. So you won't need to always refer back to the document. So let's get started with this one. The first page is just the description of the tender RFQ numbers here and what the equipment requirement is. In this case, it's a water purification system for a histology department lab. It also has information about the closing date and time, which is extremely important because this is the deadline for this tender that is due. This one is due on the 23rd of August at 11 a.m. and the delivery address for the tender, it must be dropped off at the NHLS main reception, RFQ box at the Corner Hospital and the Quart Street in Braamfontein. So what we would do is we would fill out all the documents, print them out separately, staple them, and then put them into an envelope with the label on the envelope and then deliver it to this address. Some of the documents that we would need to print are the RFQ document that's been completed, the quotation, a brochure for the product, our BEE certificate, a tax clearance certificate, a letter of good standing, a CSD registration document, and our company registration documents. I'll go through that with you again. There should be a checklist in the RFQ document as well for the documents that you need to attach. So this is the contents page which you can go through. If we looking at a blank document and we need to complete this, it has the bid number here, which you will need to put on your quotation and all of the other documents so that they know that this is the RFQ document that you're referring to. You'll see the contact person for this tender here. In this case, the RFQ or the procurement department person is Molatelo Make, and this is their phone number and email address. If you have any technical inquiries, this can be directed to the person's details that are here. This is if you have any technical specification information that you need to find out, like the size of the lab or what the application is. If it's not given, then you can phone this contact person and find out about that. Okay, then the part that we would need to fill out says here supplier information. So name of bidder would be, to fill it out, you can use the pen icon here on PDF and just go to the text, the AB button, and then you can just type in what you need to. So the name of bidder would be our company name, our postal address would be our head office address, our street address would be same as above, so you can say same as above or you can leave it blank. The telephone number would be our head office telephone number. As you can see, mine comes up automatically here. You can leave the cell phone number blank, or if you have a sales rep's cell phone number that you want to add, you can add it in there. Email address, you can add in your email, the sales rep's email address or the contact person for this tender. I'm just going to use an admin one for now. Our VAT registration number, like I said, you'll get that from the company information document. There's our VAT number here, so you can just add that in. Okay, supplier compliance status, then you put our tax PIN or our CSD number. I'm going to use our CSD number in this case. Okay, BEE Level status, we're going to tick yes because we can provide our certificate. Yes. Okay. Are you the accredited representative in South Africa for the goods, or are you a foreign-based supplier? So we are generally suppliers in South Africa for our imported goods or manufacturers, so we would tick this one because the manufacturer is not based in South Africa, but we are the authorized distributors for them in South Africa. Okay, so this part here, it says questionnaire to bidding foreign suppliers. So this is not applicable to us because we are not a foreign supplier. So you can leave that blank. Okay, so here where it says signature for bidder, you can sign this yourself. I'm just going to put my signature here for now. And then capacity, this is signed as, so if you are a sales rep, you can put sales representative. If you're an administrator, you can put admin. If you're the director, you can put director. So it depends on your capacity. And then you put in the date. Moving on, I think this is just the terms and conditions for the RFQ. You can read through this. It's generally all the same on all RFQ documents, but you can read through it for your own reference. This is just another, if you're going to hand deliver the tender, you need to put it at this address as well. And then you click or you tick accept here because we're accepting those terms and conditions. You have to click, you have to accept that. Then there's a pricing schedule here. So it says only firm prices will be accepted. That means that once we say that this is the price, then we have to stick to that price given. We can't change the price if the exchange rate goes up and say, okay, but the exchange rate has changed now, so our price is increased, or we can't go back to them and say, we forgot to charge you for delivery or anything of that. So once we put a price down here, that's the price that will stay. So it asks you for the unit price ex VAT and then the total price ex VAT. And it's just one unit, I think that's here, but I'll just confirm. Okay, so at this point then there is a technical specifications document, so you can leave this blank for now and come back to it. Here you need to put Apex Scientific. Wherever it asks you for name of bidder, you put Apex Scientific. Okay. And then you'll need to fill this out. So required by NHLS at whichever address it is required. The brand and model, so like for our water systems, it's high-tech water systems, and it depends whichever model the rep is quoting on. And the country of origin depends on the brand. High-tech is in China, CAP is in Denmark or Germany. Okay, and then does the offer comply with the specifications? Yes or no? You would circle yes if it does. We most likely would not be quoting if we did not meet the specification. Period required for delivery, you'll need to state the lead time for this. So if you know it's going to take 4 to 6 weeks to come in from China, then you put 4 to 6 weeks or 10 to 12 weeks, and then delivery basis, you'd say firm or not firm. It says here to note, all delivery costs must be included in the bid price. So where it says here, please indicate your total RFQ price. This will be the very last price on your quote, or the total price altogether at the end, including VAT, because it says here it must be VAT inclusive. So that will be the price that you put in. Let me just show you the quote so you know what I'm referring to. This quotation will be done after you check the specifications, then you'll quote on the necessary product. So you'll do a quote on the Zoho Books or Zoho CRM system. It will be billed to NHLS. The quote reference number, you make sure you put the RFQ number that this is referring to. You put the date, you put the expiration date for when the quote is valid for. The subject will be whatever equipment is required. This was copied straight from the RFQ document. And then you see the actual product that we've quoted on. It's the High-Tech DuraPro Basic Ultra Pure Water System. And the price ex VAT, so we did include a discount here. So the price ex VAT is 165,593.55, and then we also included preventative maintenance plan for 2 years excluding spares at 6-month intervals. That means twice a year basically, and for 2 years, so it's 2 times 2, it's 4. And we included a price for the labor and for the maintenance of that water system. So the total RFQ price, the one including VAT, would be this price here at the bottom, and where it asks you for ex VAT would be this one here. The preventative maintenance must have been added on because it was required on the specification document. So let's go through that now. Let me just show you. It would generate, the page number depends on the RFQ document. I just want to scroll through it and see if I can find it for you. Okay, so this is the specification document for this tender. This details exactly what they require. They require a type 2 water purification unit. This is the resistivity they need, the conductivity they need. They need a storage tank. They indicate the flow rate that's required. They do indicate that they need preventative maintenance, minimum of 2 in a year, within the warranty period. So this must mean that it has a 2-year warranty period. It does say here as well that it's required for it to have a 24-month, which is 2 years. Delivery period must be within 4 to 8 weeks. So if, for instance, they need a freezer within 4 to 6 weeks, that might not be possible for us if the freezer is not in stock, because our freezers generally take 10 to 14 weeks to come in. So we would say non-comply here and state 10 to 12 weeks. But in this case it does, so we'll take yes or comply. They require staff training. So 1 training on delivery and 1 on a follow-up with the certificate. So if we are outsourcing this to another technical company to do the installation, remember to include a training certificate as well when you are quoting. And then there's breakdown, call-out fee, comply and non-comply. So generally we would select comply because we do offer after-sales support for any equipment that we supply. Okay, so let's go back up. Okay, RFQ number here would be the same number that's on the reference. This is that CAP 2022-028. Then the name of bidder would be Apex Scientific here. Here is the bidder or any of its directors or any person having a controlling interest in enterprise employed by the state. We'll select no because we're a private company and none of our directors or employees are employed by the government. No. If so, furnish the names. So this is only if we do have anyone that's in the enterprise or employed by the state, then we'll fill the details, but we leave it blank because it's not applicable to us. Then it says, do you or any other person connected with the bidder have a relationship with anyone who is employed by NHLS? We'll select no. Does the bidder or any of its directors have, or any person having a controlling interest in the enterprise, have any interest in any other related enterprise, whether or not they are bidding for this contract? So you'll select no. Then you'll sign the declaration. So I understand, and you'll put your name. At the bottom here, you'll sign, you'll put the date, you'll put your position or capacity, and you'll say, and the name of bidder will be Apex Scientific. Okay. This is a breakdown. You don't have to fill out any information here. This is just a breakdown or explanation of how the BEE status works and how their point system works, because they will give us points based on our application. So where it asks you here, BEE status level of contributor would be level 1 because Apex is a level 1 BEE company, and our maximum points would be 20 points. We get 20 points for being a BE1 company. Subcontracting. Will any portion of the contract be subcontracted? We would generally select no because Apex will do all of the delivery, we will do the installation, and we're not going to be like in joint effort with any other company. Okay, so you just select no, and then you don't have to fill this out because it's not applicable. You don't have to fill this in because it would be on our BE certificate. Declaration with regards to the company or firm. You'll put in Apex Scientific here as our name, our VAT registration number, which you'll get from the company information sheet. Company registration number, which will also be on the company information sheet. Here's our company registration number. Type of company, we are PTY Limited. Describe principal business activities. So you'll say suppliers of laboratory equipment and consumables. Let me show you the completed document. Okay. Supplier of laboratory equipment. Company classification, we'll put supplier. Total number of years the company has been in business, we'll put 7 or 8 depending on how many years it is when we're doing this. And then you'll sign again. You need to sign here, and then you'll fill out the date and the address, and then you need to get 2 witnesses to sign as well. They can sign on PDF also. You don't have to print it out and give it to them to sign. Here you'll say description of services. You'll say what it is and the minimum. Okay, this is actually filled in by NHLS. Then you will state here whether it's imported or not. If it is imported, you'll say yes or no. Then you'll fill in the applicable exchange rate that we use. This local content declaration, you'll put the bid number here, and the procurement authority or name of institution would be NHLS. Then you'll sign it. You'll put your name and your capacity and the company name, and then you'll put the price of the goods. So it says here excluding VAT the bid price. And if you look at the estimate, it's this 168,993. Imported content, because this is 100% imported, the goods are coming in from China, nothing is being produced locally in South Africa, you'll put the full price here. Let's say, for example, we have a water system and we have some sort of tubing or some other part that we are manufacturing in South Africa, then you would split the price depending on that. And as you can see, it's stated here it's 100%. The stipulated local content is 100%, but we are not 100%. And then as calculated is 0% that we've put. Then again, sign 2 witnesses and the date. Annex to C is just them showing the breakdown of how it should be worked out. You don't have to fill out anything there. So here you'll put the name of the person that's signing the document, the date, RFQ number and description here. On behalf of the company Apex Scientific, in your capacity, the date you're signing, and then again 2 witnesses at the bottom. You just need to go over the terms and conditions of every RFQ document. Some of them require you to initial each page, so just make sure you are looking out for that as well. In this case, you can see he has initialed each page of this document. Then it's the spec sheet that I went over with you a few minutes ago. The sales rep will need to fill this out. So like I said, you'll say comply or non-comply, whether it fits in the specs or not. Again, completion, supplier name, you'll fill in Apex Scientific there. We don't need to fill out anything here. This is a breakdown of how their point system is going to be calculated, but you should read it out to see how they're going to be awarding this tender. Okay, then we need to fill this out. We comply, yes. Are we filling out the documents? Yes. Are we fully completed and signed RFQ and initial each page? Yes. The bidder must complete the pricing schedule. We did complete that, so yes. And then we select yes and yes for what we have completed. Then we'll do the BE certificate that we are attaching, so we'll add in yes here. The CSD report we are supplying, so we'll select yes. Company registration number, yes. If we don't have it for whatever reason, then you'd say no, but we do have all of these documents. Okay, and this is the schedule of the work carried out by the bidder. The bidder must indicate in the spaces provided below a complete list of similar contracts awarded over the last 5 years, including any current contract, if any. So this is where we need to give other references. We try and give at least 3 references of similar projects that we've done. So in this case, because it was for a water system, we've put references for other water systems that we've supplied recently, and you can fill in the value of the work, the contact people's name, contact number and email address, and a general idea of when this was done. Then again, you'll sign the bottom, fill in the date. This is the checklist that I was referring to earlier, where it tells you what documents needs to be submitted with this tender. So like I said, a CSD form, a BE certificate or affidavit, a tax clearance certificate, local content which we have filled out. If there was a compulsory briefing session, then you would need to attach your certificate of attendance, letter of good standing, yes, and then this, I think this is for the NHLS to fill out. So we do have all of these documents if they need it. There's nothing to fill out. This is just the general terms and conditions in the contract, but you should read it to make sure that we do comply. And then you'll sign at the end to accept the terms and conditions. So name, your capacity, the date, the company name, and your signature there. And that's the RFQ document completed. Then you'll need to print this out in order and staple it together, and then staple all the supporting documents that need to go with it, like our quote, the brochure, our company registration document, our BE certificate, our CSD report, letter of good standing, and tax clearance certificate. And then we also print out a label for the envelope. Like I said earlier, you need to put this into an envelope, and this is the label that you'll stick on the envelope. You'll put the contact person for the procurement person's details that are listed on the RFQ document with the address that it needs to be delivered to. And that's how you'll do an NHLS tender.